Hello and welcome back for the third episode of 5Ws and 1H. Today we are talking about marathons and long distance races.
My fear is that it could not be only 2020. It could also be, from the point of view calendar, getting into 2021 between March and June. Okay, so these 4 months, there are 139 international races less now than they were in the beginning of March. 139. Some cancel, some move to the second half of the year.
Marathon and big races like that, it's not just for the sport, it's for the city, the community, the people socializing, bring joy to the city and be back in life. Life is not going to be the same as we knew. So we need these events to bring joyness and happiness to the people.
You're right, Yorgo. So that's the balance we try to find, all of us as event organizers, in order to do all this stuff, to provide happiness to the runners, to give the sense to the community and to the cities that we are back, we start running again, and at the same time we are able to retain as much as we can our position in the market and our personnel and our volunteers and everything. So that's the big battle right now, and I think we're going to win it. I think we're going to win. We are, from our nature, in this community, in this market, very positive people, and we are in contact with thousands of other people, and we do have the strength in order to do it. And the runners at the end, of course, if they run and they have thousands of other people around them, they were happier. But if they be able to run from point A to point B and finish their goal, even if they're alone, they will be happy. Paco, is that right?
Yeah, sure. And then as event organizers, we have different solutions. I mean, you have the Japanese show at the beginning of the year that they canceled the mass race and they did, let's say, just an elite race. It is true that in Japan, they used to have just elite races, so it was not something very different of what they used to have. So that was Nagoya and Tokyo did that. So now London, who also moved from April to October, now are thinking about if they do or if they don't do elite runners. In ourselves, we also have the solution elite, the solution multi-elite. Let's say, since it's qualifying for Tokyo, for Olympics, so we might have the international elite, the European elite, the American elite, the Asiatic elite, because this is being qualified. So there are a lot of solutions. Some people, they say, no, we go to up to 1,000. The German, this is why Berlin canceled, is because the German decided that there will be no events with more than 5,000 people up to the end of September. They were the 20th of September, so they canceled the race. But they are talking about 5,000. Will it be that in September? We don't know.
We are kind of the organizers that are taking advantage of the good job of our government and our people in restricting the spread of the virus. We are expecting to organize our races. With the same numbers? Of course not. We do not expect the cases in Greece, which is one of the strong benefits of our country. The cases of coronavirus in Greece is very small right now. It's 2, 3, 4, 5 per day. And it's still beginning of June. We expect that this will become zero for the next 2 or 3 months, the summer months. So taking this as a prediction, and from the experts as well, we expect that we will organize a half marathon September 20th, and most of the run Greece. And then we're going to open up registration pretty soon for the Athens Marathon. But there's always the case, we cannot hide that maybe we have a second wave of coronavirus coming back to the world, and we'll be forced again to cancel it this time.
The biggest danger we see as organizers is to make a big clash. Let's say you might have a good race, you might have a bad race. It doesn't matter. Everybody understands that because of the weather, because of anything, things doesn't happen in 1 year after the other. Everything goes on the right way, more or less. The problem is that what we cannot do is being responsible in front of authorities, in front of the medias, of something which will be a clash from the point of view sanitary condition. So, and this is why now, and I'm a little bit with Makis, because I'm not in the same way, but we in Valencia also, we have our race on December 6th. So we have on top of the table 2-3 different solutions, but because depending on what's going to happen from now to September, that's going to be one or the other.
We are working in protocols of how to organize that in order to submit it to the proper committees of the government and the city to get permission and then start getting to the organization. We are planning here and according to the government's instructions, guidelines, that when the runners are standing, waiting at the blocks or walking to go to the blocks, we need to provide to them space for at least for 1.5 meters to the right, to the left, backwards and forward. But when they start running, we need to make it a way at least when they pass the start arc and then they go to have a more distance, 8, 10 meters, 6 meters. This is more flexible because going forward and seeing how the crisis is developing or diminishing, we might be able to diminish these rooms. About keeping the distances while studying, while running, how we're going to do all the procedures according to our organization manual for the volunteers, for the villages, for the registration, for the expo, for how people are going to access the venues in order to start, the clothing management, all the programs we have, they're going to follow strict health protocols approved by the government. When people start running in big roads and they have to pass and everything, there we cannot exclude the individual responsibility of people. And even the state takes this into consideration. Even you make a protocol for the public transportation, for the metro, for the buses, if people do not follow that, then they are not there. That's why we make all these plans in order to tell to the runners to know what they're going to face, how we're going to do it, under what terms, under what conditions, in order for them to say, okay, I register or I don't register. Even they register to be aware that if something happens in October, in September, even the last days, and the race is cancelled, what are their rights? Definitely it's very early right now for all the discussions, although we are forced to have them.
It's somehow early, but then as event organizers are responsible to organize, we have to have a different solutions almost ready. We are all a little bit, let's say, working that way, but looking right and left and behind.
We're going to follow, as event organizers, all the protocols for our race, but at the same time, we are aware of the protocol of other organizations. For example, there are protocols how to use public transportation. There are protocols how to use aeroplanes and airports. There are protocols how the hotels are going to operate all this time and everything, and gradually will be better and better. So we take into consideration all these protocols in order to reach to a point that say, okay, we are responsible from the time you arrive at our venue in a wider sense. And we're going to do the best in order to provide to you all the space in order to have the distance, which is a proper distance. And that's why we're going to do it in all the cases.
Because one of the most important aspects in the marathon is that from the first to the last, they are all winners. They are all shaking hands. They are all getting hugs. They are only kissing each other, etc. And this is going to be killed this year. So we have to be careful with whatever we do, trying to save a little bit of both things in order to cross the river, let's say, okay? Because on the other side of the river, it will not be exactly the same, but within 1 or 2 years, we will be able to come to a similar stuff. And I don't know exactly how we will get out of this, but we will, I'm sure.
Thanks for watching 5W Gen 1H. Stay safe, stay tuned, stay updated. Take care.